Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Hello Crafty Friends podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Smith, and today on this Thanksgiving Day in the US, as we celebrate, I would like to talk about ways of expressing your gratitude, not only to your customers, but to your friends, family, team members, any associates, colleagues, teachers you may have. Just creative ways to do that, why you need to do that. And I hope by the end of this episode, you're going to realize that expressing gratitude is really as much for you as it is for them. Like, it's going to make you feel as good about it as it is going to make them feel as good about it. So thank you for joining me, Denise, Dawn, and Phil, all wishing me a happy Thanksgiving. This is a live stream on YouTube. Yesterday, before I get started on the gratitude, well, number one, I wanted to just say that if you missed episode 6, actually episode 7, because we're on episode 8, episode 7 of the Hello Crafty Friends podcast, I interviewed Christine Ray Bishop. She is the owner and founder of Crafty Crops, a retreat center for crafters. So please listen to that interview. I've known her like more than half of my life. She's a very good friend of mine. I listened to her talk about this dream she had of starting a retreat, and she did it, which is amazing. I didn't put the little teaser out there yet, but I will, and that'll be inside my group as well. Okay, so anyway, yesterday I became an affiliate, full disclosure, for a group that I have been training with, and I've been training with artificial intelligence, this university that I've been attending from Industry Rockstar. I've been in a program for several months now, and they have this amazing Black Friday special. And I wrote to them and said, please, can I promote this Black Friday special to my community? Because if you don't learn artificial intelligence, you are going to be left behind. It is going to be as pervasive as using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's just everywhere now. And I use it every day, just as part of my everyday life. I actually feel like I have a little research assistant next to me all the time, helping me with my business and helping me brainstorm all the time. And so I learned so many other tools besides ChatGPT and all this other. There's so much to learn. And if you're interested in learning anything about artificial intelligence, they have an amazing $97 special where you get, and I'm not kidding, over $29,000 of value for $97. It's like a no-brainer. University 5 programs. I spent, for the program I'm currently in, and my program doesn't expire either, I spent $497 on mine. So if you're interested in that, please use my affiliate link in the description. And if enough of my community members do this, and I say enough meaning 2 or 3, I will have a special artificial intelligence introduction for you in my in my Crafty Business group or in another place on a Zoom where I can get you started so you don't feel lost in the sea of technology. But you don't really need any tech background to do this because they are excellent teachers and start at square one. And every week you'll have Zoom, and then you'll have a Q&A. All right, now let's talk about gratitude. Well, first I just want to say, hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving. I was in a food coma earlier. I wanted to come on, and the turkey kicked in, and my husband was watching football, and I took a nap. Woke up, and Dolly Parton was the halftime show, so I was excited about that. Got to listen to some songs, then took a bath, and now I'm totally awake and raring to go. So we express our gratitude in the U.S. We go around and we celebrate Thanksgiving with lots of food and family and friends and things like that. But we also say what we're thankful for as well. Now, this channel of mine, in which I'm on right now, and the podcast, I guess, would be a spinoff, like you would have a spinoff of something. And that's what this podcast is. It's another way of sharing information in an audio format. I cannot begin to express the gratitude for you, my viewers and listeners, because if it weren't for you, all of the other things in my life wouldn't have happened as a result. So I really, really, really value that you've given me your time and attention, because that is a precious resource. And then, of course, if you support me in other ways, such as shopping, or you've gone on and become part of my community, I'm eternally grateful, because it has led to so many positive and abundant things. Now, I think that if you start out on your journey of crafty business, because that's what this podcast is about, and you detach yourself from the outcome, and you're patient, and you don't worry about your statistics at the very beginning, like how, I mean, you worry about it in that you look at your statistics and you learn from them and use your data to inform your future episodes. But if you're not sitting there obsessing about, are people listening, are people watching, and you're doing it truly for service and sharing your gifts, then the other parts will come. So please just be patient, share, detach yourself from the outcome. Don't say, I'm only doing this so that I can get something in return. If you do that, like, your abundance will not come with that kind of attitude. You have to give with a servant's heart, and then in return, people will know, because people are smart, and they know if you are doing something out of the kindness of your heart, or out of because you want to share, or if you're doing something to do something to get something in return. So be yourself. You will find your tribe. You will grow. So, and hello, Laura, and happy Thanksgiving. And all of those that came in while I was talking, I kind of got into my zone. So we have, whoops, and my finger's going to be in front of this. Now, I will be showing a couple samples, but you don't need the samples to be listening to the audio. Hello, Lisa. Because the samples are just for fun, for those that are watching the video. So I want to start with, when you have a customer or a listener, okay, or somebody that's watching you, and you're sharing something with them, they are considered your audience, and you need to thank them for their time. And you can do this in a number of ways. And if they say they sign up, for example, for a newsletter, you can do things like give them coupons for your offerings, and give them information, tutorials, but not just tutorials that you're already sharing, but extra tutorials, maybe behind the scenes, and links to a summary of your tutorials, and PDFs of maybe your measurements, or your handouts, your workbooks, things like of that nature. Okay, so you want to also thank them by asking them to give you feedback. Hello, Linda and Hilda. You want to give them surveys, because you want to ask, because you're not just creating content for yourself so that to listen to your self-talk, because that would be, one reason, but nobody, it's not going to get you anywhere unless you're providing content and information that people really want. So if you ask them for feedback, then, and through the surveys, which I've always done, then that will inform you on to what kind of content you want to keep creating. Also, you can find out what kind of things are resonating with people by the numbers of likes and views and watch time that you get on your certain pieces of content. And then you do more of that. And when you do more of that, people are appreciative, because they know that you're doing things that they want, because that resonates with them, and you're giving them more of what they want. So not only are you thanking them for watching and what you're doing, but you're giving them more of the content that they know and expect from you as a content creator. Now, by doing this over and over and over again, you are doing what I guess would be something that I learned from listening to a person on YouTube who's a super big influencer. And his name is Gary Vaynerchuk. And he always talks about just give. Just keep creating content all the time. He talks about creating 20 pieces of content a day. I can't possibly keep up with that much content, but he does talk about just give. And then when you're ready to make an offer, which would be the ask, right? Then it's one of those things where you are in the position, and I don't want to even say the word permission, because sometimes I hear it called permission marketing, but you're in the position of making offers that people want, because you've been listening to what they want. You've been producing content that they want, and now you're producing something organized. For example, a course, a program, a membership, something, or offering the products that you sell, right? But you are doing it because you are just extending what you've already been doing. You give, and then you make offers, and then extends what you've been doing in some kind of other way. So with that said, then people will, in the journey of being your customers, they go from being a lead to, sending you, an email example, can I have a catalog, or they ask you a question online, and then you start that dialogue, and then they become one of your customers. Now, they can become a customer by taking a course from you, or purchasing one of your downloads on your Etsy shop, or, for example, I make a commission when I sell Stampin' Up! Products because I'm a demonstrator. So then they become your customer. So the very first thing you need to do is acknowledge them and listen to them, because they are buying from you, and you want to see what kind of products that they're buying, and you immediately want to write them an email, and you want to say something about what they purchased. You want to see what they purchased, and then you want to thank them accordingly. So I have examples of this. I'm just gonna pick up this example here. So I noticed that you bought the Festive and Fun stamp set. That's really amazing. And then you send them a card made with the product that they just purchased. Okay, so that would be something you're listening to them. You're in tune with them. You're not only thanking them specifically in the email with something that they purchased, but you're sending them, when you send them a thank you card, you're sending them a card, if you have the product, a card made from something they purchased from you. That's why one reason I love doing swaps is because I don't have a lot of the products that I sell, because I buy just the ones I like and the ones I'm using for workshops. So when I do swaps, I have all kinds of samples. So then when my customers purchase something from me, I could give them a card, if I have a card made from something that they just purchased. And then I say a note, there's a note like, here's something you can use for inspiration because you purchased that. So let me find the little insert. I did carry the little basket over here. There's a little insert I put in with every card that I send someone. And it's a little thing that says, thank you for your order. I just had it right here. And it tells them, here it is. So it has I'm holding it up, it has my logo, and thanking them for their order, and that I hope they enjoy their new crafty supplies. Hello, Janet. I appreciate their ongoing support, because you are supporting my small business, right? So I appreciate your ongoing support. Feel free to share your crafts and enter the challenges in my VIP Facebook group. Okay, so we're on the first part of the customer journey. This is a customer. You thanked them via email. You've said something specific about their order. Maybe you said something about the fact that you were happy they took advantage of the free shipping day, or you're happy that they took advantage of the sale, or you like that they bought this product. You send them something, a card. Now, you don't promise that you're sending them something. That's important. A lot of people do that, and I personally don't advise this in a business. Hello, Dawn. I personally don't say, if you buy from me, I'm going to give you this, right? Because that creates a situation where someone is only buying from you to get something off of you, which it works for others that are way ahead of me, and they're probably in the millions. But I just can't. Well, it's not that I can't do it. I just haven't been doing that. I do send them something when they buy from me, but I don't tell them ahead of time that I'm going to be sending them something when they purchase from me. And that's the reason I want them to purchase from me. I hope that makes sense. And I mean, I'd love to hear your philosophy on that, because I know we all love free things. And my company gives you free things when you purchase. Like, for example, we have a celebration coming up where every $50 you spend, the company will send you something for free. And they can afford to do that because they buy it and they get it manufactured in bulk. All right, so, and then I continue to talk about my VIP Facebook group, which is part of the customer journey. And we'll talk about how we thank and give gratitude to our VIPs in a moment. And then I talk about checking my store for the current host site. Yeah, thank you. You like my coffee earrings. They are from a craft fair. I love supporting small businesses at a craft fair. Okay, go to my current, use my current host code, and then you'll be entered into my monthly drawings. All right, so now the customer knows, and they may have used the code already, or they may have just learned about the code through this message. Now I have a clipboard. I don't want to show you the front of the clipboard because it has a lot of names on it. But on these clipboards, I keep track of things like, okay, who requested a mini catalog, for example. And now this is something, yes, thank you, Phil. You like getting something unexpected. That's nice, yeah, because you don't learn to expect it, and it's more of a surprise. So I say, okay, they requested a catalog, or they purchased something. I put a couple stars. I will say I do that. So if they have a bigger order, I put a couple stars, meaning send them one of my cards, personal cards. For example, I'm just holding up some cards. And then if it's a couple stars, it would be send them another little doodad, embellishment, or some kind of designer series paper, or an extra card from one of my swaps. I usually just give them up to one of my cards and then someone else's card. That way they get another style for inspiration as opposed to just my style. Okay, here are other things I wrote. I wrote they're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. That's part of my clipboard, meaning that way I give them something made from a Paper Pumpkin kit. Okay, and either way, they're still a customer and they still get a card from me. It's just a matter of what kind of card I give them. Okay, I write down if they also ordered something like they got a kit from me and they want a mystery surprise. And I write down if I've ever given them a catalog, whether I need to give them that. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And then I have a check mark for, did I make a label yet? I have a label maker. So I have a Dynamo label maker. Did I make the label yet? I have a check mark for that. Did I send it yet? I put the date I sent it. Hello, Jade. Then I have, let's see, if it has a square around it, I think that means I did a tracking as well. If it was a package, a little square around the date I sent it means I also tracked it, meaning I also sent them a notification from Pirate Ship. So these are all just like different things I keep track of. Now it's also electronically in my spreadsheet, but I find these clipboards are easier just to circle things as I go to know how I thank customers. All right, so on the customer journey, they've now used, say, a host code, and they become they get into my drawing, and the way you spoil them for that and express gratitude to those who use the code is you put them in a drawing, and they win prizes such as stamp sets and such as designer series paper, mystery craft surprises, or my mom's. A lot of them choose these little totes here that my mom makes as their prizes. And then, of course, I put candy in it or something else. And we just gave away 5 of those in my VIP group for the host prizes. Now they become, next thing is you try to get them into the VIP group so you can spoil them some more because they are your customers. And now you can communicate with them better in the VIP group. And we have a VIP group in Facebook. So the way you could do some spoiling and express your gratitude is by having challenges. And in those groups, we have challenges such as send a card challenge, where they share a card that they made. This also helps for my crafty business because they're using up the craft supplies that they purchase, right? So it's also a good thing to share what they made. Then we have Paper Pumpkin, something they made with the Paper Pumpkin kit, or an unboxing challenge, showing the box of things that they received and a picture of that. Those are some challenges in the VIP group. They can enter for prizes. Now, when they're a VIP, they also get invited to different events, which are in the group. And some, if they're already a member of my card club, they would get a free bingo card. But if they're in the VIP group, they can sign up for the bingo. And they also get lots of things in that group, like measurements for the bingo. They get to prepare ahead of time. They get to see the prizes ahead of time because in the event, I'm always doing videos in there. And one time, before I did the crazy BOGO BOGO means buy one, get one. Before I did that craziness on Facebook publicly, I was doing it inside the VIP group privately. So they can have maybe a private sale or access to no information ahead of time and polls and things like that. So VIP group is another way to spoil your people and, of course, send them things. Now, other people who may be VIPs for you in your business are, if you're an Etsy shop, they are your best customers. If you have a Patreon or a channel membership for YouTube where people support your channel with monthly pledges, and if they are in your country, this is kind of important if you're going to mail them things. If they're in other countries and they're my Patreons, I express my gratitude by giving them digital coupons for my courses, or giving them my PDFs of my labels, or PDFs of my card tutorials. However, if I were to give them these kinds of things that I send to the people in the US, it would be very cost prohibitive to mail these types of things. But my Patreon members are mostly the higher level ones, like meaning the bronze or platinum, gold, platinum. Hello, Nola. They are ones that are in the US, and then I can send them these things. So last year, I usually do it a couple times a year for those that pledge the most. And my mom made the aprons that are half aprons that go around your waist for the craft apron style. She made those as a gift. And then she's also made bags as a gift. And then when I was overseas and I didn't have my mom's supplies to send them, I would go buy things at a store called the Daiso, which is an amazing little store. It's like way better than a Dollar Tree. So much fun stuff in there. And so I would go in there and buy all these like cute little Japanese things and or Korean things and just give them really cute care packages with supplies in them. So along the customer journey, they've now become a VIP because they're in your VIP group and you should treat them as such. And sometimes they stay with you. I mean, they don't really ever leave that group, right? But sometimes they stay with you and go on, and sometimes they're in that group because they maybe keep taking courses, and sometimes they're not very active, but they're still watching you because you're posting in there things, you're engaging with the group. So you're posting things and you're giving them value, high value content. This is how you thank people. This is how you thank them for, you don't want to, no one's going to stick around if your group is all like, oh, promotion, I have a sale, give me this, give me that, give me this, right? You don't want to ever have that attitude because people will not want to be in a group where it's just all you just showing them like promotional material constantly. So you want to keep adding your tutorials and you're adding value, and then they stay in that group. Now, because they're in that group, they participate in different events. Like, for example, I have a card club, and a lot of them join because of the VIP group. And then they get invited to Stamp and Sip. That's a special event for just the card club members and my team members, which is part of the journey. So now they're on the journey. They've joined the card club. They're getting invited to bingo and Stamp and Sip. These are events I have every quarter. And now they're interacting. The team's interacting with the customers. My other team members are meeting the customers. They now are like, her team's cool, right? Like, we want to be part of this team. So the next part of the journey is they join the team. Now, if you don't have a team and you're not in direct sales, then this part might not pertain to you, but you do need to think of every team member as a customer because they really are. And so I want to just emphasize that. Just because they've stopped purchasing from you directly, they've become part of your sales team, and maybe they're a hobby person who's buying as for themselves. They're buying crafts. So you're still going to treat them as a customer. And we have another set of challenges in that group. We have I Mailed It challenge. This is all for prizes because we're talking about rewarding people, right? I Mailed It, where they mailed a card. They have a tech challenge. They have team building challenge. They have a training challenge. There's a couple other challenges like orientation. But one important thing is that when we have our meetings, we also have, and all these things, bingo, Stamp and Sip, team meetings, there's door prizes. So you're rewarding people for coming as well. So these are all, you might be saying, isn't that a prize? Yes, but it's thanking them for staying. You must be present to win. We thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming. I also let everybody pick out the prize that they want because I don't want to say that, this is your prize. Because what if they already have it, that product? And I let them pick out product, and they always get to have a mystery surprise if they don't already have something, or if they have everything it's in my list, they might say, I want a mystery surprise. All right, so that is the team. I have one little sample, although I better not show it. Let me not show it because I'm about to do, in December 8th for my team, I have what's called an awards and recognition ceremony. And because they didn't get, I see a couple of them on there right now. They didn't get what's in the mail yet, so I don't want to show you. But there is something that is handmade for everybody. I would say handmade, hand curated for everybody in my team. So they all get something that not everybody, but everybody that's being recognized for, sales, team building, being a helper, getting nominated by their fellow team members, and then they get recognized. So you want to have awards and recognition. You could do that for your customers, your VIP customers, or you could do that for your team members. Now then, when your team members go on to help you, you want to give them extra things, extra swag, free card club membership, extra downloads, coupons to your courses, things when they help you and they become your helper and they take a leadership role. Maybe they help you do a demonstration. You want to also reward them with something extra for doing that. So those are ways to help your team members. And then for my card club, basically the bottom line is in this podcast is you need to surprise and delight people by never doing the same thing over and over, never knowing what they're going to get sent in the mail, utilizing your secret weapon, in my case, my mom, with the things that she makes. And in this case, I'll show you this because I did already show this to this is a swag bag. So for example, when they're in a card club and they've been in there for 6 months, the first group might have been surprised, but not anymore because the first group has already reached their 6-month part. So they've already got the swag bag. So now the next group that joined this coming month is going to be their 6-month anniversary, and they're going to get a swag bag. And I'm visually showing you what's in the swag bag. Simple chamois. The bag is something my mom made. You have some ribbon, a roll of ribbon. You have a case, a stamp case for your chamois to keep it moist so you can clean your stamps. You have some fine sparkle, gems, some bling. Let's see what else. It says, it has a little thing about, I had to use one of those baby things where it said 6 month, a graphic that said 6 month. It was like for babies. 6 months old. Anyway, it says, thank you for being a member of the Cardon Blue Club for 6 months. Enjoy your swag bag created by my mom. I appreciate your support. See you on YouTube where we'll be creating the Cardon Blue projects. Okay, these are just ways to express gratitude here. This is a paper pumpkin stamping block. And then some embellishments, a pack of embellishments. So ways to express gratitude. You have swag. Who doesn't love swag in this crafty business? Homemade items, okay? Cards, candy, emails, acknowledgments, verbal acknowledgments. And then I have some other things that I'm going to be including, for my random happy mail. And these are just some things I have I had a craft fair last weekend, and I have some extra things that I made. And what I'm holding up right now are these little sticky note holders with the pens. So that's some extra swag that's going to be going into some bags. And you can see they kind of follow a theme. Some mini ones. And then I'm showing you some more swag that's going to go into bags. Some Hershey's Nugget treats. These are little candies with some chocolates in them. These I thought were going to be my bestseller for the last craft fair, but they weren't. They were like the 3rd or 4th bestseller. It was the paper purses, which I'm going to show you in a minute. They were my bestseller this time. But these are fun, and I'm going to be putting these into some of my gratitude packages. Here's some thank you so much paper purse. And these are other paper purses. These have lip balm inside. So just so you know what I'm showing, if you're listening, I'm just showing things that are part of what I had at the craft fair. Hershey's Nugget treats, paper purses, sticky note holders. The paper purses have candy or lip balm inside, and then these little nail file boxes. So just little fun, little stocking stuffers. So those are the 4 main things I had. And I also have some other kinds that I never showed on my channel. I haven't shown them for a while on my channel, but this is called this one's called a box in a bag. It's another type of stocking stuffer where you make a box in a bag. And then you can put all kinds of stuff in your little things. These are honey spoons. I have honey sticks. I have tea. I have coffee. Now, one person, I just got a really nice email today. Now let's get back. So we're done talking about, the customers and the team and da-da-da. But you also can use the same kind of concept for your neighbors, your postal carrier, the waitresses or waiters when you go out to eat. All the time, especially around the holidays, you want to bring some things to carry with you to surprise and delight those that are helping you out, and just to give them something and say thank you. I even bring these in my bag when I'm traveling and give them to the airline worker at the counter, and they really appreciate that. My neighbor wrote me a nice letter today. She thanked me for all of the Thanksgiving goodies that I'd given her. Boxes and jars of fun fall-themed treats with some of those leaves that you get from Hobby Lobby to use. You can use grass inside the jars, but you can also put leaves around inside of the jars. I don't have a picture of them. I just gave them, and she wrote me a very nice thank you for the gratitude gift I gave her. And they do so much for us, my neighbors. So she was very appreciative of that. You can use the same concepts I'm explaining if somebody is doing anything for you. And it could be a teacher, your child's teacher, your friends, your neighbors. Someone gave you a ride. I can't express enough how important this is. And I know I'm a little behind because I just thought of it as I was doing this podcast. I've already had 3 guests on my podcast, Tracy and Sally and Christine. And I'll probably have Becky, my friend from Guam, soon. She's already agreed to be on my podcast too. And so I definitely need to, and Dawn. I've actually had 4 guests. Anyway, so I'm going to need to, send them some of the expressions of my gratitude, as I say, because they gave of their time to be interviewed on a podcast and gave of their time freely. So whenever anybody does something for you, it's important to write it down because you're going to forget, and check it off as you send them something, because this is a visual reminder. Like I said, I have all these clipboards. Although some of this stuff comes in the email, I put stars and I put labels on my email as a way of organizing things inside of Canva, and not Canva, inside of Gmail. But it's important to also create a visual list that as you mail things, you can then check off that you sent things to people. Now, if anybody orders something from me, like a kit or an Etsy apron from my mother, I'm always putting in something extra. It could be some candy or a little card. And I usually get emails back from people saying, wow, that was really nice. I was like not expecting those extra crafty surprises. I just fill up the aprons are very lightweight, and I just fill up the package, and while it's still it's not called first class mail anymore, it's called Ground Advantage. But while it's still under a certain number of ounces, you can add a bunch of other items to the package without costing any more for your postage. I don't know if you knew that. And sometimes I sell used craft items on Etsy, and I might just be selling some designer series paper, but then I might add in a bunch of extra little things that I made with Stampin' Up! Products. And some of those people go on to write me back or give me a good rating. And that's another thing that can come out of this, is you can get nice ratings and reviews, and best of all, word of mouth. But they write back, and then they sometimes become my customers because they're so excited that I took the extra step to give them that extra bit of attention. And then that's going to go a long way, you doing that. Now, writing down what you need to thank people for helps you. You may want to keep a gratitude journal of the things you're thankful for, and even the things that you need to send out thanks for, because it's going to make you feel good when you send people expressions of your gratitude. Now, it shouldn't just stop and be a once a year thing, Thanksgiving time, in the fall, or Christmas. It should be an ongoing thing. It really doesn't take that much time, or maybe it takes a lot of time to create the products. Okay, I will say the projects and the things, but not if you mass produce them and you have a lot of, so you're saying it always feels good to get extra goodies no matter how small, right? So it's like you might spend some extra time making them, but if you mass produce them and you have a bunch already ready, then you're ready to just put your packages together and mail them. Now, when you sit down and you do this all at once, there is a program I use called Pirate Ship, and you can import a spreadsheet of addresses, and then you can do batch labels. Now that's really useful if the packages were going to weigh the same, and they're going to be the same kind of package. You can batch label. But in my cases, everything does weigh a little bit different, because this person might be getting something for awards ceremony, but they've also won a prize, or this person is also ordered something else from me. So I have to the weights are going to be separate for me, and I do enter them separately. But what's really nice is if I've mailed them before, I just type in their name and it pulls it up and remembers that I've mailed them, and I don't have to put their email or their address in again. I just double check that their address hasn't changed. So all of those are ways, and I'm going to summarize it one more time, of expressing your gratitude to others for helping you with your business. So I said at the beginning, this is, not just for them, but it's for you. You really have to think about this in this kind of way. You can't do things and expect something in return. The best way to explain it is the ones that I want to say take, because that's a word that's doesn't sound that great. But you know what? I'm going to keep it real. The people, I'm going to say, let's say the people that suck the most of my time, and I would say the ones that maybe there's takers, but you can't go, oh my gosh, they're doing all this, but they're not, and then they're not even supporting my business or whatever. You can't think of it like that, because you have to have a mindset. And I want to try to explain this in the right way without offending anybody, right? It's there are people that aren't in the position to give right now. They can only take. And that's not, it means that you should empathize with them. You shouldn't, you maybe, and, not pity them or anything, but just have empathy for them. They're not in the place in their lives where they can give, they're not, they're only able to receive, and even that might be even hard for them. So the people, like, you have to treat everybody the same, and treat them all like a, give everybody gratitude, whether it's their time, that's all they can give you is their time and attention, right? Or whether they can actually maybe buy something. You can't be like, I'm not going to bother with this person because they're not helping me out. Okay. I'm just trying to keep it real. You can't think like that, because the abundance doesn't come from that. You're going to help people like more than you know, by helping people that most need help, giving them some of your attention and time and effort, and you're teaching them, and you're giving them skills, and you're helping build their confidence. You're helping build them up. And they're not in a position to do anything for you in return. Over here, I'm just putting my arms to one side. Now over here, you have people that are self-sufficient, independent, financially stable. And they do all this stuff for your business. I mean, they're your best customers. They buy every club, they buy every kit, they're in every workshop, they go to your store, they go to every event, they join your team. Okay? They are like completely like on board with you and helping your business. And you might be tempted to just say, I'm only going to pay my attention to those people because they're like helping me the most. But they're not the people that need you the most. The people that need you the most are over here, right? They need you because you need to help build those people up, right? Maybe so that they can become stronger, right? And they can become more self-sufficient, and they can become more financially stable, and they can have a better shining future, and then they can have their own abundance and hopefully become the ideal customers that you have over here that are joining you in all of your endeavors. So treat everybody the same. And I mean, you can give them extra things and extra perks, but I'm saying treat everybody as if they are going to be your best customer in the future, because you never know. You can help them get there, or you just never know what's going to happen for anybody. And if you make assumptions about people and only do things to get something in return, that's not the right attitude. Because when you give from a servant's heart, you're giving to everybody, then you're going to get back more than you could ever imagine in rewards. And it's not going to come from the people you gave things to. Your rewards are going to come from, well, of course, from God, right? But I'm talking about, like, they're not going to come directly from where you send out your energy and your gratitude, right? You're gonna have other things come back at you, and then sometimes you're gonna say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they just did that for me. I don't deserve that." You might even think, "No, you deserve it," right? Maybe you're thinking, "That person just did so much for me. I can't believe they did that for me." That's because they're in the position to do that for you. So have gratitude for people who give you anything back, little or small, or just their time and attention. And don't just worry about those that are giving you something back. Like, give everybody, give without expecting anything in return. And your abundance will come in ways that you can never have imagined, from sources that you never would have expected. And it'll shock you. All right, so today we have, and I hope I got to say hi to everybody. I saw that names flying by. Oh, Jade. Oh, well, everybody's wishing me happy Thanksgiving. I love it, love it, love it. So if you're here watching, go ahead and hit that thumbs up for liking. Lala's Crafts is here. Today we talked about the customer journey and how anybody that you interact with is your lead that can become a customer, whether they're your listener, your follower, your subscriber, your shopper, your viewer. Okay, and then they become your customers. You can express gratitude in many ways, free ways, such as telling them that you appreciate them, such as sending them cards is just the cost of a stamp. Sending them some swag is the cost of a package. Then they become your VIPs. You can do extra things like bigger prizes. And because you can't afford to like give every single VIP a prize, you can have drawings and have everybody enter and participate and engage. And those that do get rewarded with more prizes, making them feel even more special. And eventually everybody will win prizes, eventually, because everybody always does if they keep participating. And then you have team members, and you can have, for team members and card club members and VIPs, you can have special events to recognize them, such as we're having an awards and recognition ceremony. And everybody that's going to that, whether they're getting recognized directly for an award, they're all getting a bingo card. So we're going to be playing bingo at that event. And then I have special other events such as bingo and stamp and sip. And that's other ways of appreciating people, putting them into groups, such as we have a group for this podcast, by the way. I don't know if you know about it. We have Hello Crafty Friends. Not super active yet. We just started, but we have that group. We have my Scan and Cut user group where they get coupons. That's another way of thanking people. We have this VIP, Paper Chefs VIP group. Okay, so those are ways to spoil people more. And we talked about special events. And then, of course, I shared some of the swag. I'm lucky to have my mom who sews, who makes some homemade events, homemade products, I should say. And now, if you don't have somebody in your house that happens to be a seamstress, then just go buy some homemade items, or homemade chocolates or homemade cookies or something that you could send, because that would give another special touch. You're supporting small businesses at the same time. These are all different ways of expressing gratitude. Also, acknowledging at any point, like you can recognize people by their certain levels. You could say, oh, thank you for joining my new membership program. You're a new crafty bestie. I appreciate you. Like I would give a shout out in the video. I forgot to mention shout outs like I'm doing right now. Like you guys are here. You're taking the time to comment, and I'm giving you guys shout outs. And I do that when somebody has a little icon next to them or does what's called a super chat. That's a donation to my live stream. And then I give them a special shout out for gratitude. So these are all ways that you can express gratitude. And you can do this for your customers, VIPs, team members. You can also do it for your family members, postal workers, and waiters, waitresses, anybody when you're traveling, people that you meet that might seem like they need it. Go to agencies like nursing homes, assisted living facilities. Some of my team members do that, and they just express gratitude for all of those people that have been such great members of our society for so many years, and now they're in their final years living in assisted living in a nursing home, and you can express your gratitude to them by giving them all this little swag and things I was showing you. So those are all different ways to do that. Please do that not only for them, but for yourself. Please do it without expecting anything in return, and treat everybody the same, express gratitude toward everybody. You're going to receive things back from different people than you help, and that's okay, because it's the way the universe works. What goes around comes around, but not from the same direction. Hope you like those tips and tricks. And if you are, as I end this, I just want to mention one more time that I did start becoming an affiliate yesterday for Industry Rockstar, it's called, and they have 5 programs that you can get up until Cyber Monday for only $97 to learn artificial intelligence. Now, you're not just going to learn about ChatGPT or anything. You're going to learn about all kinds of tools to make your life easier. Whether you want to use these tools in your personal life or you want to use them in your business to make things more efficient, then you are going to gain something out of this, because artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's not going away. It's like having a super brain as your personal assistant next to you all the time. I literally talk to mine all the time with the microphone. Ask it questions all day long. It's kind of like having a Siri, but with a super brain, right? And it's detailed analysis. They give you back outlines and answers, and it's just amazing. So if you're interested in that, please use my link up until Cyber Monday. I'll still have a link after that, but the price won't be the same after that. Like I said, you're getting 5 programs, and I took the first one. It's called the AI Assisted Entrepreneur Sprint. And the one I took at the beginning was, and even though I got a discount because I went through another group Mine was $497, and I'm still in that program. And you're getting five big programs, plus a live event and bunch of live Zooms, and it's only $97. So it's a no-brainer if you're interested in artificial intelligence. So please check that out. And that's all for now. I appreciate you listening to the Hello Crafty Friends podcast. And keep on crafting. We'll see you again real soon. Happy Thanksgiving.